This broadcast of In Focus is being made possible through the support of Reed Health. Reed Health, right beside you. And by Morrison Reeves Library, digitally open to you 24 hours a day. Also available, computer use by appointment only, and curbside pickup of library materials, grab-and-go kits, and tax forms. Get more details at mrlinfo.org.
Welcome to this week's In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11. I'm Eric Marsh, Executive Director of WCTV. Glad you're able to join us as we continue with our social distancing In Focus programs. Hopefully you're doing well. A couple of things I need to remind you. It is still election season. Normally we would be well beyond that now, but the primary election has been moved to Tuesday, June 2nd. If you do not want to get out and actually vote in person, you still have time to request your Indiana primary election absentee ballot. You have to do that by May 21st. The easiest way to do that is to go to indianavoters.com. That's indianavoters.com, and you can get yourself a ballot that you can fill out and get that mailed in. If you want to do in-person absentee voting, you can do that at the Coleman Center, Glen Center, First English Lutheran Church, Hagerstown New Testament Church, May 26th through the 29th, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Also at the Coleman Center from 10 to 3 on Saturday, May 30th. If you need information, go to the clerk's website or call 973-922-6. Also on election day, if you want to go out and vote in person, and I know for some people that is their preference, it's just something that they have to do. That's fine. The vote centers will be open on election day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Coleman Center, First English Lutheran Church, the Glen Center, New Testament Church in Hagerstown, Mount Olive Baptist Church, Life Spring Church on US 27 North, Centerville Christian Church, and First Baptist Church on South A. Those are just some of the things that you can know about voting. Again, if you don't want to vote in person, but you do want to vote, you can request an absentee ballot, and you can do that by going to indianavoters.com. As we continue to go through and reopen various, I don't want to say parts of our economy, but as we reopen various entities that have been closed or delayed or put on, hiatus, the Parks Department is one of those places where people really have always had an interest. Denise, Retz, and her staff through the years have done a really nice job with our Parks Department. Denise is nice enough to join us for this week's In Focus. And Denise, how are you and your staff doing?
Well, thank you for having me, Eric, and WCTV. I really appreciate all your efforts, even through this time, to get the information out to the public. We are doing well out here at the park. We're missing our community, though, that's for sure. So we're, I have a office view that I like to say is the best view around, and that's of the playground. Makes me smile each and every day, and I've been missing that since we had to close our playgrounds. But I have been able to be encouraged by the amount of people putting up a blanket and bringing a picnic into the parks, and we're just using our spaces for walking and running, and that has been very encouraging. I think this time, more than ever, people are really realizing the benefits of recreation.
I think that's something that really needs to be reinforced. I know there's been kind of the stay-at-home orders or semi-shelter-in-place orders. People have been going out. There are parts of the parks that have been kind of off limits, that you've been trying to do that to keep people safe. But the parks themselves are not closed. People can go, people can sit, people can walk, people can get fresh air.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've been able to reopen our golf course with restrictions as well. And we've been operating out there safely and with, CDC guidelines and social distancing measures, one per cart. And we have tea time opportunities on the actual website where you can go highlandlakegc.com and reserve your tee time. So a lot of these things can be done without much physical contact, and those are the things that we are promoting at this time.
I know that there are things that we want to tell people, particularly about those things that are reopening as they were or coming back. Again, people had been off the golf courses for a while, but they're coming back. But with that, there were some other things where the decisions were made that things weren't going to happen. Let's kind of run through that real quick. And it really is about, I think, safety more than anything else, trying to make that balance between keeping people safe and providing some recreation and entertainment for people, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there were hard decisions that had to be made, and it's not something we take lightly at all. We want our spaces all to be open. I mean, that's what we do 365 days out of the year, is try to bring people to our parks and our spaces, and recreate and be able to have opportunities. So to have to make the decision to close the pool or not have summer camps was very hard, but it was a decision that we did out of the safety and benefit of our community. We want to be the leaders, and we want to be responsible in the facts that we have a love and a safety need for our communities. So that's the total reason of making sure everything is safe for people to return. Now, we are following the governor's 5-stage plan and working through those efforts on the things that we will open, but we will not be opening the Cordell Municipal Pool in 2020, and we will not be doing our summer camps this year. In regards to JUCO and Little JUCO and JUCO Rocks, and also our sports camp. So those particular programming options will not be something that we're going to be doing this year. Now, we're going to try really hard to provide additional programming options when it's safe to do so. We've been working with other park agencies in the state of Indiana, and this is, across the board. Summer camps are being closed. If they're not, there are several restrictions put into place and several concerns that they actually have in operating these camps. We want our summer camps to be fun. We want them to be exciting for our community, and we want everyone to feel safe when they get out of that car and onto our park property. And that is the utmost feel that we want people to have at our pool and at our camps. And if we cannot provide that, then we don't need to be providing those amenities or those.
For those things that are going to be happening, it's not all happening at once. So let's kind of go through some of the places and some of the things, because you mentioned it's not a park, it's a series of places that you all are still dealing with and handling. Middle Fork Reservoir, what do people need to know about that particular facility?
So Middle Fork, there's a lot of social distancing recreation opportunities there that people may not have thought about. We are going to go ahead and open up the bait house this Saturday with limited hours. There will be no convening inside the bait house. It will be, you walk in, you get your bait or your fishing, essentials, and then you'll be, welcome to then leave. There's no staggering. There's no concessions there. It's for bait sales only so that people can fish. Fishing is a good social distancing recreation option. And so we want to be able to provide that and give people what they need to be able to do that. People were able to dock their boats on May 11th, starting there. And we hope that we'll be able to extend our season a little longer this year so we can accommodate the fact of not being open. So we're looking to extend into October and hopeful for that. We still have a boat fleet that's making its way here, courtesy of Reed Health and Community Benefit, and we're really excited about having those opportunities when it's safe to do so. So that's something to look forward to as well. So with the bait house then being open on May 16th, you can now get your bait from the hours of 9 to 5. The hours will be posted each and every day outside of the service center. And that is located at 1750 Sylvan Nook Drive. You can turn right there at Nature's Nook, or you can go through Reed Parkway and hang a left. So basically we are we're encouraging people to get out at Middle Fork and excited for them to come out and fish. Some of the other things, though, at Middle Fork will not be open until May 25th, Eric, and those are the playground. The governor has not issued playgrounds to be reopened until the 25th of May. So Memorial Day, those playgrounds will be open, and also the dog park will be open at the same time. So I know we've gotten a lot of calls about Hills Bark Park, and people are very excited to get their dogs back out socializing with other dogs and running and playing off their leash. And so that will be able to be back open on the 25th. Now, granted, I just want to make sure that people understand that these dates are tentative. And if the governor decides that we're not able to move from stage to stage in the 5-stage plan, then those dates will be changed. But we are moving forward with those dates as the 5-stage plan resembles. So the playgrounds will be open on the 25th, Eric. We're really excited about that. We're taking reservations now, at 983 Park, where people can actually reserve shelters for under 100 after May 25th. So we'll be able to have those shelters ready and open. We've hired an additional seasonal janitor to accommodate some sanitizing needs that we're going to have over and above what we've had before. And so we're working through that. We always want to make sure that we encourage people to bring their proper hand sanitizers and wipes and keep their health and well-being, at the first most priority. There are high touch surfaces at playgrounds. There are high touch surfaces in all of our parks. So just be aware, keep your distance, and, make sure that you stay, well within the guidelines. Our restrooms will start being open with limited hours on the 25th. And we'll also be working very closely with our vendors at the farmers market. Will be open on the 23rd. And that's 2 days before the playgrounds get open. And people can go and have local food access on the 23rd. The farmers market at Jack Elstow Plaza. Same hours, 8 to noon, but very high restrictions. So we'll be putting out a press release to talk through some of those restrictions at the market. That's pretty much the month of May in terms of what will be reopening. And we're really excited about getting people back in our parks. We're going to put the basketball rims back up, remove some.
Okay.
Yep. Remove some of the wood boards. Our tennis nets and our pickleball nets will be back up come May 25th. So we're excited.
Talk about, I know you're staffing and everybody's worried about money and what cities are able to put out. Is there any additional cleaning in like the playground areas that you're planning, or how are you suggesting people kind of handle that? Because you mentioned there are a lot of high touch surfaces in those playgrounds. It's all about making people as comfortable as they can, either being in a facility or bringing their kids to one.
Mm-hmm. And I think that comfort level is up to the patron and what they feel comfortable with and what they want to bring to consider that comfort level. If it's hand sanitizer and wipes or things like that, I think that's essential that they bring that along with them. We're working to see what we can do in terms of any cleaning of high touch surfaces. We'll be working through that. Playgrounds, that would take a long time to clean playgrounds. And what I've researched in terms of cleaning of playgrounds during this time is the fact that some of the cleaners actually can be harmful to the playground equipment. Mm-hmm. And so we just need to take that in consideration. We have new playgrounds as well. The safety is obviously the most priority. So we encourage people to bring their own sanitization efforts if they feel comfortable doing so. If not, then they can participate on our playgrounds.
Golf is big around here. You've already said that people are able to get tee times. You're bringing back the golf leagues. You're bringing back some of the tournament play in mid-June. How is that working? I know generally maybe one or two people. You said only one person in a cart, But how do you see that working? How do people social distance as they go? I'm not a golfer, so
Right.
how do you make that work?
As we continue down the 5-stage plan, some of the social distancing restrictions will start to kind of let up. And, if they do not feel comfortable at 2 to a cart after mid-June, then we can make reasonable accommodations for that. Not a problem. And people have been great at our golf course, our municipal golf course, Highland Lake, our membership, and those people coming in to play, maybe have never even played there before. They're bringing their own essential cleaning supplies. We clean the carts on a regular basis after every single person has the cart, but they're also doing a good job. I mean, we've seen people put bags on the steering wheel, and they're taking their own health and well-being into their own hands, and we appreciate that. We do what we can to keep people safe, and we will continue that measure far, into July if we need to and beyond.
First Tee is coming back. What's the sign-up procedure?
So First Tee will be back, and as you know, that's its own organization. It utilizes Glen Golf Course as a training facility. We now have 6 holes for them to train on, plus the walking path there, and they're dedicated to keeping the values and morals of the game of golf and life strategically at hand there for that program, and we're really glad that they want to continue that. And it's a smaller scale program where, it's individualized, and they can do most of the things outside. And it's limited to 20 and 25 people per hour. They're going to have a drop off and a pickup area. And they're going to work through all those sanitizing efforts that they need to work through. And help with the social distancing efforts, and they can clearly do that. People can actually sign up by going to firstteeindiana.org, and they can register online at that time, and they will not be starting. They originally were going to start June 3rd, but have pushed it back to June 15th being their first week. So they're going to teach the game of golf to the youth of our community, and I would really encourage anyone to take advantage of that if they could. It's more than the game of golf. It's actually about life skills and morals and values, and it's a really cool thing that we have here that we partner with.
I know one area that people will be very happy to see, but I'm sure that there's been a lot of thought going into it, is the reopening of the senior center. We're getting into the month of July a little bit, so we're well beyond. Those folks are going to be wanting to get out, see friends, that type thing. Talk about how those decisions are made, what you're thinking about as you look even a couple months down the line to the opening of that facility.
Well, I'll tell you that our community has not only been supportive, but they've been very interested to see when these things are going to happen. And so we've been inundated with calls and concerns and social media posts and requests on when these things are going to be open. So having dates tied to some of these things has been really beneficial for people to look forward to these things going to be reopened. And you hit the nail on the head. The senior center is one of those places. And, we'll be reopening with some restrictions on July 6th. Hopefully, we can move to that stage. That's that 5th stage and final stage, which is appropriate for that age group to then reopen at that point in time. We've got a great team at the senior center that have been reaching out to membership on a daily basis and checking on people and making sure people are good. And, we have a really active population here over 50. They're very active. And so they're finding other ways to be active other than our active living senior center. So that's a good thing. And we want to be their active center. So we're excited to get up and going in July.
Your sports leagues are coming back. I know putting people in place. I know there's a lot of people really looking forward to that. Talk about how that's going to come about, what's going to happen, how people can start to reconnect there.
So with leagues being able to be done with the 4th stage after June 14th, we will then be implementing our sports leagues, our adult softball sports leagues. We already have people that have signed up. Lots of businesses have signed up for these, and usually we encourage people to reach out to our activity and recreation coordinator who's putting on these leagues. We're really excited that we are going to be able to still have them. Now it's going to kind of go well into probably October, with the tournaments and things like that at the end. But we'll do what we can to get all the games in on a proper time, depending on weather. I think it's just important that we have these for our community. These are bonding experiences for different companies, and in the industrial softball league has been fairly popular. So we're glad that we're able to do that, and people can still sign up their teams. And we'll be working on a team captain meeting soon.
I didn't see it in the press release that came out a week or so ago, and I'm just curious, will there be movies that people can go sit at the facilities? I know that you've done that at a couple of different parks. Is that something that you're thinking about bringing back this summer?
Yes, Eric. We've been working on our movies, and we've been working on updating our digital rec guide so that it'll have all the updated information that people can find on our Facebook page or our website at www.richmondindiana.gov. And so our digital rec guide, while we weren't able to put that out in paper form this year, is going to serve a really good dual purpose where you can actually get on and see the facilities that you can rent and work through that. It'll also give you all of the programs and events that we are planning to have this summer. So people can access that right away. And we're working through some of those concerts and those major events at different locations and how that will work in with the social distancing and the 5-stage plan.
You're watching In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11. We're speaking with Denise Retz, superintendent of the always busy Richmond Parks and Recreation Department. Doesn't matter what time of the year it is. It's a group that's always out there trying to provide some entertainment and great places for us to hang out. Before we let you go, just give us some updates on some things that are going on. I know everybody feels like they've been inside, but you all are still operating. There's always updates. There's always beautification. I know, the greenhouse was going, and you all are probably going to be planting downtown. You were trying to get some shade in Elstro Plaza. Talk about how some of those things are going.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll first start on a greenhouse update. So the downtown pots are gorgeous, and you'll be seeing those go out probably next week now that the weather is kind of hopefully no more frost. They've been planting like crazy all over our parks, places that you might notice. They've been working through the rose beds at E.G. Hill where the fountain is. They've been working at Mac Shack at Glen Park, which is one of our rentals. We just recently built a very substantial deck on that. It's a great rental. Now it has new landscaping all around it. They've been planting the bridge boxes, the triangle bed here in Glen Miller. They also are planting trees at this point in time and getting us some trees done, as well as Star Jeanette looks gorgeous. They've redone the entire landscaping down there. That drainage that they've created will help, and it's a very low maintenance type of landscaping down there for what we need for our manpower. So that's just one to go look at. They've been doing a great job.
It's an area that a lot of people don't think about with you all. That Star Jeanette area.
Yeah. And we're really excited. There's some updates coming from Veterans Park. We were gifted some new equipment that will be coming soon in terms of a big, I believe it's an M85 tank and some mortars from the government. And so we've laid a concrete pad. We've done a few other things getting ready for these new additions to Veterans Park. So that's exciting. And, we've been able to take this time to really maintain some of our areas. We've been working on at McBride. The green fence will be painted inside and out. And those are things that we're hiring out there. In-house, we're working on capping off the bleachers, and we're almost done with that project. We're really working on the dock slips to make sure the bumpers are all new, and all the rotted boards have been fixed. We're done with the 5 slips now, and we'll continue another 5 here soon when the weather provides us the opportunity. And so we've been really working hard on that. We continue to mow. It's a daily deal. Every 23 properties that we have to maintain, including the city building, downtown, Elstro, Middle Fork, Springwood, Clear Creek, on and on. Those kinds of things are things that, we're not taking lightly. We're making sure those are maintained. Even if people are not in our parks on a regular basis, they still need to be beautiful. And our team is doing a phenomenal job making that happen. Trash off the ground with added people on a day like today, which is sunny and warm. We'll see added trash blowing and sometimes just left in different areas. So I feel like the team's done a really good job, keeping the trash at bay, and really doing a stellar job. We're looking forward to getting some people in our parks and getting the rentals up and going. We're also looking forward to some of the things that we can do to gather again. But other than that, the shade sales at Elstro, we're still working through that. We hope to be able to go back to the Redevelopment Commission in June. There's some structural analysis things that are being done by the architects now, just to make sure the engineering load is good to go. The pickleball club's working on some shade at their area as well, and that's exciting. And we actually I've been working really hard with a few grant requests to try to get a new playground at Star Park located at North 15th. If anybody's been down at Star Park, it used to be called Eastside Lions Park on North 15th, they'll see that we've done a whole new retaining wall around that park. It is aesthetically pleasing now. There's no disrepair. And so we're really excited about the way this park's going to start kind of changing, and it deserves a good playground for the neighborhood to play on. So that's kind of the next big thing. If you want to talk about the next big thing for parks, we've been working really hard at the master plan process. There'll be 5 chapters in our master plan, and I've been working with the consultants. We have a few more community engagement opportunities that'll come through. We'll do another survey, very short, not like the last one. And
that was detailed.
It was detailed, and we got a lot of great information. So if anyone out there filled out the long survey for the park master plan, we appreciate it. And we know it took some time. It really did. And we had over 1,700 people do that survey, and that was phenomenal for a city of our size. Nice. And so I want to thank people for their support. This is very encouraging. And so we're kind of in that last kind of stage where we're finishing and kind of getting some additional public input for some of the ideas and strategies that the consultants have kind of gathered as an option for us. But this will be a nice little roadmap for our community and get our parks to where they need to be.
Before I let you go, I want to give you a chance. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you really want to make sure that you get out to the community? We're going to have a chance to talk again. Hopefully I can talk to you again in another month or so as we move through some of the stages. But what do you want people to know right now?
Well, right now, I just want people to know that we're here and we miss them, and we want them back in our parks, and we want them to be safe. And I also want them to understand and know that there are still recreational opportunities, even without the pool and without the summer camps. A lot of our partners are still having things, and you can definitely look into Girls Incorporated and Boys and Girls Club in Hawaii, and some great partners all across the city that do wonderful things for recreation as well. So we can help you with that and try to get you some information if you're looking for that. And you can call 983-PARK, and we'll try to get some information to you. You can always reach out to our Facebook page as well, and we'll get you any information that you need. Sign up for your dock slips. If you have a boat and you're thinking about going to Whitewater, it may not work out for you this year, consider docking with us at Middle Fork. It's tranquil, it's peaceful, it's nice, it's low cost. And so we would like for you to consider that. Consider renting. We've been down with revenue in the last month, and it's going to dramatically affect how we are able to operate. So, if you have an opportunity to have an event in one of our rentals, please do so. That helps us in terms of revenue for our department and for you as a community. So those kinds of things. Register for the softball league, so you show that you want these things to happen here in our community. So get a team together from your business and say, let's join. Let's have our softball team, and let's be a part of something together. And these things then in turn help us help you. So thank you, Eric, for all of this and letting me get this information out there to the public. And thank you, our community. That's wonderful in your supporting of the Parks Department and really seeing the benefits of recreation.
No problem. Always glad to do it. Denise Retz, Superintendent, Richmond Parks and Recreation Department. Thank you very much for the time today. Be safe.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm John Duke with Wayne County Emergency Management. Spring weather is here. For the most current local updated information, we encourage everyone to sign up for public alerts through Nixle. The easiest way to sign up for Nixle is text 888-777 in the to field of a text message, and then enter your zip code in the body and hit send. For the most current information, whatever the situation may be, we encourage the public to sign up.
Planting trees. There is a saying regarding planting trees that the best time to plant a tree is yesterday and the second best time is today. When we plant a tree, we are giving benefits to ourselves, our community, and future generations. Benefits from trees include contributions to cleaner air, water, erosion control, wildlife habitat, energy conservation, and more. Studies have shown that urban vegetation and trees help to improve personal health and wellness, such as helping lower blood pressure, reducing stress, and promoting relaxation. To learn more about planting trees, feel free to visit Hayes Arboretum or online at hayesarb.org.
Welcome back to In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11. I'm Eric Marsh, Executive Director of WCTV. Glad you're able to join us for this In Focus program. As we are getting to the end of spring almost, kind of moving into what we consider to be summer, the colleges have had their commencements, their virtual graduations, whatever. We're a week or so away from that happening for the high schools. Now the question becomes, what do the kids get to actually do this summer? We're getting some information from the Parks and Recreation Department, but there are other organizations who focus a great deal on what happens with the kids in the area. One of those, Boys and Girls Club of Wayne County. I've got Kate Glen, Director of Marketing and Special Events for the Boys and Girls Club of Wayne County with me. And Kate, thanks for taking some time to update us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Talk a little bit about how the Boys and Girls Club have been working throughout the last couple of months as kids have been out of school. What type of educational things have you been able to do, fun things? Talk a little bit about how you stayed connected to your members.
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest way we've been able to stay in touch is through Facebook and through our Instagram and our Twitter accounts. But really, our Facebook has been just the biggest tool for keeping us all in touch. We've been posting regular videos. We have at 8 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night, we read a bedtime story for our members, and we've been getting a lot of cool views and feedback on that. We've been posting, some science activities, some things you can do with stuff around the house. We've been posting some arts activities, and it's really neat to see the responses that we're getting there and just our ability to continue doing some of the fun stuff that we used to do, but virtually.
Okay. The summer is coming up when kids would normally be out of school. Some of them feel like they've been out for quite a while. And the question is, what happens with some of them? There's still only so many people you can have in a room, but you all sounds like you have figured out a way to hold some of your programming this summer. When does it start, and what is the process?
Yeah, so it actually started today. So this is a big experiment day to see how this process goes down. We're very excited about it, though, to finally open our doors again. We have 2 facilities open right now. We have our Jeffers unit on South L Street, and we have our McDaniel unit out on Main Street that are open. And both of those are taking 5 different summer camp groups with 10 kids each in them. Those kids, when they came in this morning, they got vetted before coming in with thermometers. We have no-touch thermometers, and we're making sure that nobody had a fever. If you are fever-free, you can come on in the building, no problem. We're asking that parents stay out of the building so that we can, again, just minimize the number of people that are coming in, right, and bringing anything in with them. And so then we kind of monitor throughout the day as we're going, making sure the kids don't have fevers, that they're happy, that they're staying in their groups of 10. And we've instituted, more hand washing procedures and more lessons on hand washing and more times during the day when we're going to be doing some of that hand washing. And we've sort of expanded what our camp program would have been. Usually you sign up for a single topic, right? You're in art, or you're doing gym, or you're doing our lead program for young adults. We're doing that for each group, specialized for just the morning. And then in the afternoon, we're kind of cycling the kids through all the cool stuff we have here. So you're doing computer lab, you're doing some gym time, right? You're doing some games room time, just so that everybody gets a different piece of the Boys and Girls Club.
You said you're doing them in like groups of 10 right now. Is there any conversation, because you all have a lot of members, and I think your membership has continued to grow. Is there any conversation about when, how, if you'll be able to add some additional members to some of these programs during the summer?
Yeah, absolutely. We really, really want to expand and be able to serve everybody as much as we can. As far as our summer camps go, we're going to be monitoring the situation with COVID-19. We're going to be watching what the Wayne County Board of Health talks about. We're watching how it unfolds in the country. And as it moves forward and it looks like we can have larger group sizes, we're going to open up. We've got a wait list currently. We'll be contacting those members to get them back on board. But yeah, this is kind of it. We really want to keep our kids safe. We want to make sure that they are in a safe place that's both safe because it's a physical environment where they can be, but also safe because we're protecting them. And so we want to make sure that this is how this works too. So if this is how we can have our programming with only 10 kids at a time, that's what we're going to do. We can expand it and have 15, 20 kids in that group, then we're going to take those measures too.
How much time did it take for you all to because you all have been out of your buildings for a while also, how long did it take you all to kind of work together what this summer was going to look like, and what was that process like for your folks that are used to being surrounded by kids?
Yeah, so really the summer planning process was remarkably short. Our staff really wanted to make this happen and really work together on what's the best way that we can get as many people service and that we can get as many people coming to our programming and coming back again. Ever since we shut down in March for the COVID-19 virus, we've been working together. We've been doing Zoom meetings. We've been coming in and sitting 6 feet apart within the conference room. We've all been in and we've been trying to work out what's the best thing we could be doing right now. So that started with our virtual programming going on Facebook, that then led to the creation of our Take and Educate, and now that's led to our ability to bring some staff back and bring some kids back and open up our doors today.
You mentioned Take and Educate. Talk a little bit about that program, how long it's been going on. Will it continue through the summer? And if somebody is not able to be part of one of your programs, how do they connect with that?
Yeah, so Take and Educate is really cool. It's a at-home and virtual programming that we've put together. So what happens is every Tuesday and Wednesday from 8:30 to 10:30, you can stop by the Jeffers unit at 1717 South L Street. And we have education bags, and they're full of stuff, activities. They've got folders in them with books and worksheets, and there's little stuff that you can do. Each week is themed. We're on our 4th week now. And you pick them up and you take them home, and it's just things you can do at home without any internet access, right? So anybody can do these activities with their children. If you take some pictures of your children and you send it to us, right, for them doing these bags, they go in a drawing then to win a themed prize for the week, which is really fun and it's been very exciting. And then we have on our Facebook page, we pair on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we put up videos that are about the same topics that we're talking about. So we had some videos on gardening, we had some videos on healthy lifestyles and healthy eating, and that all matches and supplements then what's in those Take and Educate bags.
What are the various programs that you all are doing this summer? I know you mentioned a couple of them, like you have your program for your upper teens. What are some of the things that the kids are actually going to be able to do?
Yeah, so we're trying to run most of the same programs that we had planned on doing anyway. So we have our tech camps that are working on computer coding. We have our Club Fit that's really focused on just getting active and doing some non-contact sports. We have our art focused group, and we have, again, that mentioned that our LEAD program, which is a very special program we have only for kids that are 11 and up, and it's really kind of training them up to be the leaders of their next generation.
Watching In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11, we're spending a few minutes with Kate Glen, Director of Marketing and Special Events for the Boys and Girls Club of Wayne County. As you go through the summer, as things change, hopefully progress, things get a little bit more loose, what is you all's conversation like for being able to open up other facilities, add kids? I know Camp Guy is a place that you and I have talked about, and we've talked about a few times, that kids really enjoy being able to go, but that's not something that you all are opening right now. What's the conversation as far as dates or time frames for being able to do some additional things?
Yeah, so we are looking very specifically with Camp Guy to make an announcement on June 15th about whether or not we can have that open for July. It'll be a different experience anyway. We won't be running our overnight program, unfortunately, with Camp Guy if we do open it, but we are very concerned about being able to open it. We would very much like to be able to continue to have that outdoor experience for our club members. So keep watching us, follow our Facebook page. June 15th, we should come up with a response for that. As far then as letting some of the kids on the wait list in, opening that wait list up to more members of the community, that's going to be an ongoing week-by-week basis. We're in our leadership meetings every week, and we're talking about what the situation in the country looks like, what the situation in Wayne County looks like, and what the situation with other boys and girls clubs across the nation are, and how they're also innovating. We're looking and sharing all of those ideas with each other. So as time goes on, we might make some more decisions, and we'll announce them as soon as we can.
If somebody wants to maybe try to get on that wait list and they're just hearing about this, how do they connect to you?
Yeah, they can just give us a call here at the Jeffers unit and talk to Angela. She's our membership coordinator. The phone number for that is 765-962-6922. Just give her a call and she'll put you on that wait list.
The programs that you all have been doing virtually, you mentioned the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I believe it is, 8 p.m. story time and things of that nature on Facebook. Is that going to continue throughout the summer? Is that going to come to an end at some point? Talk a little bit about where you all see your programs, particularly if you have to continue to limit the number of kids you're physically able to let into the facility. Talk about the things that will continue probably beyond the next few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our intention to carry on the Goodnight BGCWC story time 3 times a week. We're definitely going to continue doing our Take and Educate programming with supplemental videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Facebook page. We really want to be able to reach as many kids as possible. We want to kind of keep our service numbers where they were and expand them, because there's a lot of new need in the community now with different people being out of work, different people having to go into work but not having the child care. And just with the schools being shut down for so long, we want to make sure that we are continuing always to build great futures in our community. So as long as we're looking at kind of this virtual situation for everyone, for workplaces within Wayne County, we're going to be offering these programmings, and we're going to be talking about how else we can continue to reach out, what new things we can do, because we don't want to stagnate either. We want to make sure that we are reaching everybody in the most effective manner.
As your counselors are going through this, the people that are working with the kids, what conversations have you all had with them? Just talk a little bit to the community about their social distancing. Are they wearing masks when they're working with the kids? What do parents need to know so that they're comfortable?
Yeah, absolutely. Safety has been a huge part of the conversation, and going over COVID-19 and the best practices for preventing it, for recognizing it, right, for keeping everybody safe, your coworkers, your friends, your family, and of course the children that we're serving. Our club staff are wearing masks. We aren't requiring that the children wear masks, but our club staff will have them. We're also working on helping the club staff monitor and enforce social distancing with the children in a way that's not like, "Raw, get away from your friend," right? Because it's hard. Kids want to get in that space. They haven't seen each other in a long time, right? But we're working on how we can talk to children about safe practices without scaring them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What else do you want to make sure that you get out to the community? We've got a couple of minutes. Talk about whatever it is that you all need to get out there.
Yeah, so I think that really the most important thing is we just want to say thank you to the community for continuing to support us in these times. It's been really hard to shut our doors because the open door is one of our major symbols. Being a safe place is something that we've tried to run with and really tried to market and try to talk about ourselves as a safe place for children in the community. And it's difficult when physical places are no longer safe. Right? And the safest place we could create was a virtual space for such a long time. And we understand the burden it put on a lot of our parents. We understand how difficult that can be, but we really appreciate everybody adapting with us and coming with us. And we're really excited to have this return back to our open doors. And we, kind of ask for that same patience extended again as we're working with our small groups and we're trying to develop those safe practices and get them really sharpened and honed so that we can expand and we can allow more people to start coming into our doors.
You can find them easily on Facebook. Why don't you give the phone number again if somebody wants to be able to reach out?
Yeah, our phone number is 765-962-6922. And you can find us, of course, on our website, bgcrichmond.org.
All right. Kate Glen, Director of Marketing and Special Events for the Boys and Girls Club of Wayne County. I hope you have yourself a great summer, and we'll check in with you again.
Thanks, you too.
Hi, I'm Angela McDaniel, Health Educator for the Wayne County Health Department. Over the past several weeks, our state and local government have put policies and recommendations in place to help slow the spread of the COVID-19 virus. These strong public health policies were made based on health science and initiated early by our local government. And we did just that. Wayne County was able to help slow the spread, and we thank you. At this time, I'd like to go over information on proper mask wear. Step 1, wash your hands for 20 seconds. Step 2, put the mask on by picking it up by the ties, loops, or rubber ear bands. Step 3, position your mask so that your nose and entire mouth are covered, giving the best seal. Small gaps are normal and unavoidable. Wearing a mask does take some getting used to, but should never restrict your breathing. Please remember, your mask does not help you if you are wearing it around your neck.
From the entire Read Health team, thank you for your support. Read Health, right beside you.
Welcome back to In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11, finding out some things that we can do. We keep hearing what we can't do, finding out what we can do. I have a chance to talk with Sean Dingworth, Executive Director of the Richmond Art Museum. Sean, how are you?
I'm great, Eric. Thanks for having me on today. And I'm excited to talk about one of those things that people can go get out and do.
I'm excited to have you talk about it because I was talking with my wife a couple of weeks ago and I went, man, the Secret Garden Tour might get lost this year. And then I'm kind of, rooting around on websites and I go, really? Did they just forget to take that down? But you all are going to do the Secret Garden Tour.
We are. And we've really done extensive research on this. Of course, we talked with our gardeners to make sure that they were comfortable and they wanted to move forward. We spent time talking with the Wayne County Health Director about how we could do an outdoor event and provide safety to our patrons. So the event will happen June 27th and June 28th. We are going to have time tickets, and those will be available for sale only online at the richmondartmuseum.org website.
Okay. Time tickets. Talk a little bit about what that's for and what will look a little bit different this year. I assume a smaller event?
Exactly. So we will have the opportunity for the patrons to select which day, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, and then the time that they want to go on the tour. So, for example, Saturday will be divided up into 2 time slots. You could go from Saturday 9 a.m. to noon or noon to 3. And the idea is to provide social distancing to limit the number of people who are at the gardens at any given time. And so we do anticipate having fewer tickets available. So it'll be important that people go online, get the ticket. The other thing we're doing is the ticket can be downloadable from the website, or we can also mail you the hard copy. And again, this creates an opportunity for people not to have to interact face-to-face when they purchase their ticket.
As people go through, one of the parts of this event has always been the boutique. Is that going to be held this year? What will we be able to see if it is?
Yeah, great question. The boutique, I think, is one of the things everybody looks forward to because it's unique ironwork that you can't find anywhere else. So what we're going to do there is it's going to be spread out. In the past, the boutique has been something that really was kind of a booth, but it's going to be spread out. And then we will have the checkout where people will stand 6 feet apart to check out. And we also have the opportunity that people can, after the event, can buy some of the items online.
Tickets for the Secret Garden Tour will actually go on sale when?
So it's going to go on sale June 1st. And again, it'll be on the richmondartmuseum.org website.
I've seen you and Sean a little bit on Facebook kind of showing a little bit of the art. Talk about how you all have kind of worked through this pandemic to keep people connected to what's happening at the art museum.
Yeah, it's a great question. One of the things we've been doing is using social media a lot more, and we've seen a significant increase in all of our social media platforms. More people are following, more people are clicking through. What the staff and I did, we recorded some videos, short clips about the museum, some of the exhibits. We've been posting artwork from the collection, giving a little bit of history about that. People have been really interested in it. And then we just also collaborated with several other Wayne County museums. So every Monday we're doing a themed object from all of our collections. So those are just a few of the things we've been doing. Personally, we've also been just reaching out to our patrons, just seeing how they're doing and talking to them and how are they getting through this. And so it's been good to be able to connect with people that way.
You're watching In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11. We're spending a few minutes with Sean Dingworth, Executive Director of the Richmond Art Museum. Sean, I know it's a little bit early, but as you look at kind of going forward, the fall, you all obviously have a couple of events. You all have events year round, but you got a couple that you really point to, Pottery Palooza being one. Have you begun to think about what that might look like and if you're planning on holding that event?
Yeah, it's a terrific question. And as you know, Richmond Art Museum does events year round, and Pottery Palooza being one of the most popular, held in September. We are moving forward with that as well. The Indiana Arts Commission provided a great webinar of experts, health experts and event experts to talk about how does the arts move forward with festivals and art fairs and events. So they've been a great guidance in that. So for example, with Pottery Palooza, we will spread the booths out rather than it be clustered together. Fortunately, the lawn of the Richmond High School is huge. So we have
got a lot of room.
It's like a college campus. So we can spread out. One of the things we're looking at is we may not have food available this year like we have had in the past, because again, that presents some issues. So we're relying on health experts and event experts to look at all of these things, but we want to move forward. And if these events are not as large as they were in the past, that's fine. We want to provide the opportunity for both the artists. Artists have been hit really hard by this pandemic.
Right.
And so one of the things about the Richmond Art Museum, we've always been supportive of our regional artists, and we want to continue in doing that in any way possible. But of course, we're very conscientious about our patrons and their safety as well.
Okay. You mentioned social media. If people aren't used to catching you there, what are you using? Is it all Facebook? Are you on Twitter, Instagram? Talk a little bit about how that's expanded, and
Sure.
Do you see that as being a way that you can continue to reach out to people even beyond this pandemic?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen great success. So it's really all three: Facebook, Instagram. Instagram's actually where we've seen the largest jump in followers, and so we're doing all three. Twitter as well. I would still say Facebook is probably the most common. One of the things we've taken time to do during this pandemic too is update our website, richmondartmuseum.org. I encourage people to check that out. We're making it easier to look at. One of the things that we're working on currently that's not up is we're going to provide a marketplace for artists where we can sell regional artists' artwork to help them to get sales and more awareness. But we absolutely, I think, are going to move forward using more social media and digital formats to get our story out.
Nice. Sean Dingworth, Executive Director of the Richmond Art Museum. Secret Garden Tour is going to be June 27th and 28th.
That's correct.
From 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Timed tickets. They go on sale beginning June 1st on the website.
That is correct.
I got it.
You're
Nice.
awesome.
I'm looking forward to it, Sean. I really am.
Great. Thank you, Eric, for the opportunity and everything WCTV does for this community.
No problem. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. Have a good one. Be safe.
You too. Thanks, Eric.
This broadcast of In Focus is being made possible through the support of Reed Health. Reed Health, right beside you. And by Morrison Reeves Library, digitally open to you 24 hours a day. Also available, computer use by appointment only, and curbside pickup of library materials, grab-and-go kits, and tax forms. Get more details at mrlinfo.org.